Welcome to Word on the Street with the Carolina's own Joey Hudson. Conversations with movers and shakers and stories and insights from local difference makers. Tailored just for the Carolinas. It's Word on the Street, powered by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. On News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Here's Joey Hudson.
Soby's New South Cuisine is consistently rated as one of the top restaurants in the Greenville area. Recently, Soby's received the Wine Spectator Grand Award, one of only 3 worldwide this year, and the first restaurant in South Carolina to ever receive the award. Carl Sobocinski, the founder and owner of Soby's, joins us to talk about his journey to make this prestigious list. You know, I love my 2 Cocker Spaniels, Jesse and Simon. Peg and I just think they're part of our family. And I always like to support rescue groups who are working to make life a little easier for our furry friends. Rusty's Legacy is doing great work in Western North Carolina. We'll be visiting with the founder, Jerry Arledge, later in today's show. It's a busy Saturday. Let's get started. If you ask anyone in the upstate of South Carolina for a recommendation for a good meal, Soby's New South Cuisine will always be on the list. It started over 20 years ago when Carl Sobocinski had a vision for not only creating the best dining experience on that South Main Street of Greenville area, but literally transforming that part of the city. And Carl and his team have done just that. On our guest line today, the owner of Table 301 Restaurant Group, Carl Sobocinski. Welcome, Carl. How are you?
Hey, Joey. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me this morning.
Sure thing. It's always a pleasure. So, Carl, let's go back to 1997 when you first opened your doors of Soby's there in an old shoe store. Some people probably thought you'd lost your mind because not only was the building in rough shape at the time, but that part of town wasn't the best place either. Did you ever think maybe you just miscalculated a bit?
Today, I probably think, what was I thinking back in those days? But back then, and I've used this phrase before, I had 3 great things going for me. I was young, dumb, and naive, and so I didn't know any better.
So today, 20-plus years later, multiple locations, what does it feel like to reflect on that journey over these past, what has it been, 28 years now, I guess?
Yeah, it'll be 28 years in November, and gosh, there's so much reflection that goes on when something like a grand award is finally achieved. It's one of 97 in the world. And there's been so many people who have had a hand in it over the years, from 3 or 4 chefs that have been at the helm over that time period, 6 or 7 wine directors who have helped grow that from its infancy in day one till just this past spring or summer when we were bestowed with the award. Met so many people, have so many friendships and relationships, and have just continued to enjoy doing this every day and getting up with passion and a desire to continue to help bring great restaurants to this community.
Yeah, and a big congratulations in order, Carl. Again, just recently recognized with the Wine Spectator Grand Award. I mean, only a handful of restaurants in the world can claim that. Talk with us about what this means personally to you and to your team.
Yeah, this is one of those things. It's always nice to go out and compete and win an award, but so many of them, if it's a silver spoon at Fall for Greenville, let's just say you achieve it, you celebrate, you put it on the wall, and then you're kind of like on to the next thing. This has been a work in progress, and I remember in 2017 when the restaurant celebrated 20 years, I spoke with our leadership team and said, I want to earn the grand award for this restaurant by year 25. So we had 5 years. And we began in earnest that year and probably got set back a couple of years by COVID. But we still shot for our 25th year now, and our 28th year. We finally did it. And as you said, it's huge for Soby's, but not only for Soby's, it's really big for Greenville and the state of South Carolina.
Of course. Walk us through that. You said that you and your team kind of talked about this. What does it take to earn this type of award? I mean, this isn't just something that, it's not just about your wine list. I mean, this is really elite level stuff. What makes Soby's stand out?
Well, before I say that, let me just read a sentence that we've had on the wall for a long time, and it explains by the Wine Spectator what the Grand Award is. It says, "This is our highest award, given to restaurants that show an uncompromising, passionate devotion to the quality of their wine program. And so, as you said, it is about the wine program, but we had an anonymous inspection. They dine, they rate you on your dining experience, on your guest service, and obviously on your cellar. And so after the anonymous diner, we got an email a few weeks later that said, we've been in, we had a great experience. Next step in the process is to come and audit your wine cellar. So they set a date, and they came with a list of 15 or so wines that were on the list that we submitted. And they have to do that, because you could just create a list and submit it, and you may not have those wines in the cellar. But they came in, we were able to take them to the bin where each wine was, pulled the wine out. It was the right temperature. The labels were perfect condition, and we were 15 for 15 on the audit. No wines were out of stock or anything. So,
wow.
So that was the final step. And then we still didn't know after that, because my assumption, it's a pretty secretive process, but my assumption is there's numerous restaurants that think they're ready for it and apply for the Grand Award. And they typically recognize, 2 years ago they recognized no new winners, but I've never seen more than 4 in 1 year. So yeah. We were on pins and needles. And then finally we got a letter from them that said, you have won. The information's embargoed until June the 20th, and we'll be in touch.
Wow. Carl Sobocinski is my guest today. He is the CEO, founder of Table 301 Restaurant Group, one of those, of course, being Soby's, who was just recently awarded the Wine Spectator Grand Award. And again, I think there were 3 this year, correct?
That's correct. The first one ever in the state of South Carolina. And then the other 2 winners were from the San Francisco Bay Area and the country of France. So putting us on the global stage, it was pretty cool, and we still have goosebumps when we talk about it.
Yeah, and as you should. Again, congratulations, Carl. I mean, you've done a lot of great things for the upstate of South Carolina, but this has truly put us on the map. And a lot of people come to Greenville because of how our city has transformed. And look, when you first looked at that shoe store many years ago and you transformed that, I mean, this is not hyperbole here. You transformed South Main Street.
Well, you're kind. It's taken a great team and a whole bunch of us to do it. But it's been fun to have been here the whole time and watch it grow. And I think there's also a lot of excitement around here about the Michelin Guide is actually rating restaurants in both Carolinas right now, and they'll reveal those winners in November. But just like when a lot of people travel, they use the Michelin Guide to see if their recommended or star-rated restaurants are in the city. The same thing happens with the Wine Spectator Grand Award. And so it's already in just the first 3 weeks driven people here who have walked into the restaurant and said, we're from Charlotte, we're from Asheville, we're from Atlanta, and we read about this and we want to come see your wine cellar and try your wines. And
sure.
So just like the Michelin Guide will drive traffic here, this will certainly drive people here for a culinary excursion. And that helps everybody, because they're only going to eat with us one night, and hopefully they're going to spend 2 or 3 nights and dine in other restaurants around our city.
Sure. It makes sense. And, of course, Soby's is one of multiple restaurants in the Table 301 family. Before we get into some of the other restaurants, Carl, why Table 301? How did that name come about?
It's a great story. If you've been to Soby's, it's a 2-level restaurant, and at the top of the stairs on the mezzanine that wraps the kitchen, there's a table for 2 at the top of the stairs, and from day one, it was the most requested table. I think up there, guests feel like they're at the chef's table. They're in the kitchen looking down. They can communicate and talk to the cooks and the chef, and they can look out over the restaurant. And to us, that just epitomized hospitality and how we wanted every guest to feel. So when we were looking for a name and a parent company name and brand of the group, we just said, how about Table 301? That's the experience we want everyone at every table to have. And so that's where the name was derived.
Yeah, and that name, Table 301, has become synonymous with good food, good service, and a community partner. I mean, you do so much in the community. Let's talk a minute about those other brands then. The Lazy Goat, Nosedive, and one of your newest, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites, Tavola. And when we come back, Carl, I want you to answer the question. Managing multiple locations, is it like having children competing for your attention? Hold that thought. Coming up, we'll continue our conversation with Carl Sobocinski with Table 301 Dining, and we'll also check in with Rusty's Legacy, a great nonprofit rescue operation in Western North Carolina. That and much more coming up in today's show.
This is Word on the Street with Joey Hudson, powered by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Your comments are welcome on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Text or call. One number does it all. 800-905-0989. Emails always welcome. Joey@joeyhudson.com. When it comes to choices, the Ingles Grocery Department really stands out because they believe your shopping experience should offer easy-to-navigate wide aisles, great prices, and, of course, lots of choices, a selection that brings you the products you need and want. For example, Ingles has thousands of organics at prices that will surprise you. Take a tour around the world in their international section, and their specialty and gourmet items will make foodies out of everyone. Ingles carries gluten-free choices that other supermarkets do not. They carry the newest products alongside the brands that you've always trusted. Another example is the professional cheese cutters for premium cheeses, largest gluten-free selection in the Southeast, and the largest craft beer collection you're going to find. And what about Ingles Curbside? Easy to order through the Curbside app. Actual dedicated Ingles employees selecting your order. They're trained to select your items as if they were shopping for themselves, and your order is delivered to your vehicle and loaded. Shop like you were in the store without ever leaving the comfort and safety of your car. Expect more from your local store. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. As we continue our conversation with Carl Sobocinski, founder and owner of the Table 301 Restaurant Group. Soby's in downtown Greenville is one of Carl's restaurants and was recently awarded the Wine Spectator Grand Award, one of the only 3 restaurants in the world to receive this award, and the first in South Carolina to ever receive this prestigious award. Carl, I was asking you if having multiple restaurants was like having children compete for your attention.
That's a great analogy. Yes, I think so. I only have 2 children, but we have 6 restaurants right now, so there's a lot of competition out there. But over the last several years, what I've enjoyed is starting the newer restaurants with somewhat of an exit strategy and a plan to sell those restaurants in a few years to a hardworking managing partner, a chef or a manager, and turning them into entrepreneurs and creating a legacy for their families. And so we've done that 5 times now, and
wow.
We intend to do that with several other of the current restaurants. But Tavola we're loving it. I actually was out there last night and had a wonderful meal and enjoyed time with the team out there. You know, I say out there because all of our restaurants are downtown. Mm-hmm. Tavola is in Bridgeway Station off 385 in Malden. And what a fun little neighborhood community they've built out there at Bridgeway.
That is for sure. And I got to say, the chicken parmesan is to die for. I mean, it's just amazing. Again, it's becoming our favorite restaurant in that area, of course. You know, a lot of restaurants, with me today, Carl Sobocinski, a lot of restaurants don't make it 5 years, much less the close to 28 years that you're coming upon. What do you think has been the secret to your longevity and continued success?
I don't mean to oversimplify it, but I really think it's our people. It's trying to hire people with the hospitality gene and knowing that we could make a mistake. We're human, and something may not come out to the table perfect or right all the time, but it's how we take care of people and how we treat them and how grateful we are that they're with us and choosing to spend their evening or their afternoon with us. So, I mean, you have to have it. There's also 3 components I've always spoken of: the ambiance and the feel of the restaurant, the food and the quality of the food, and then the service and the attention to detail. And so you really have to try to put all 3 of those together. But at the end of the day, human connection is so important, and we try to make sure that guests know we're thankful and grateful that they're with us. And if anything is wrong, we try to solve the problem with compassion and empathy. and welcome them back for another meal at another time.
Yeah. How many employees does Table 301 have now?
We have over 500
Wow.
full and part-time associates on the team.
Wow. But because in addition to your restaurants, you do catering and all too, right?
We do. We have a growing, fast-paced catering business that's expanded. Our operations are here in Greenville, but we're up in western North Carolina in the Cashers and Highlands area almost every weekend for weddings, and are all over Greenville, whether it's an office lunch or a social gathering, rehearsal dinner, wedding reception. It's a fun business for those who like being on the road and bringing the restaurant and the food to the guests and the venue that they're at.
Yeah. You mentioned your team multiple times, and it does take a team, particularly with a business the size of Table 301 and the multiple locations. Your restaurants, Carl, they aren't just places to eat. They have become a part of the community here. You've been so involved in so many different things. How important do you feel that component, the community involvement, that connection has been to the success of Table 301?
I think it's paramount, and at a period of time, like most people at every 5 or 10 year birthday, the milestone ones, you start to reflect on a lot of things. And for me, at 45 and 50, I remember reflecting on what we had done, and I'd been in the business. Now I've been in the business 35 years. But after 20 or 25 years, you start to wonder, is what I'm doing valuable and impactful? And is there something else I should do, in the next chapter? And at first I started to think, we're just serving meals, we're just serving people. And then you dig deeper into it and you're like, wait a minute, I just ran into so-and-so and they told me that they were engaged in Soby's. And I just ran into so-and-so and he told me that his third child had just had their rehearsal dinner at the Lazy Goat, and that they have memories, and we're helping create those memories. And being a part of, I guess the most important thing for our team is that we're a part of people's best days. Yeah. And sometimes you're a part of their toughest days. But as long as they're choosing to come spend that day and that time with us, then I feel like it's impactful and it's valuable, and makes me proud to be in this industry and be able to be a part of those special moments for people.
Sure. Carl Sobocinski, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Again, congratulations on this Wine Spectator Grand Award. I can't tell you just how proud I am of what you've accomplished.
Thank you, Joey. I'll never forget, we all got started together, so please give your family my best, and I look forward to seeing all of you hopefully sometime soon.
Sure thing. Let me take just a minute to talk with you about the summer lineup at Walhalla Performing Arts Center. Boy, there are a lot of great shows. The Walhalla Performing Arts Center is an entertainment staple here in the upstate, and it has been for over 20 years now. They always bring the highest quality entertainment to you, and they've got another great slate of entertainers coming up this summer. Let's give you a few examples here. July 10th, see the Country Music Theme Tour with Josh Turner, a native of South Carolina. On Saturday, July 19th, see Zoso, the ultimate Led Zeppelin experience. And then Saturday, July 26th, see Interstellar Echoes, a tribute to Pink Floyd. Then on Friday, August 15th, enjoy Sweet Baby James, the number one James Taylor tribute. And on Saturday, August 16th, the Black Jacket Symphony presents the Era of Yacht Rock. A summer full of great entertainment. You can find out all about it and see the schedule at WalhallaPAC.com. Go ahead and get your tickets now. A lot of these sell out. WalhallaPAC.com. And you can also book a room if you'd like to stay in one of their executive suites and just make a weekend of it. WalhallaPAC.com. Coming up, you know how much I love my fur babies, Jesse and Simon. Rusty's Legacy is a rescue operation in western North Carolina. We're going to visit with the founder, Jerry Arledge, up next.
This is Word on the Street with Joey Hudson on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.